You know that feeling when you look at the world and it just seems too complex, too fast, too big to even get your head around? Well, if you've ever felt that way, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to unpack that exact feeling, why it's so common today, where it came from, and what it really means for all of us. So let's just dive right in with the big question, right? Why does the future feel so broken? It's this sense that a lot of people have that the old promises of progress and a better tomorrow just don't really feel true anymore. It's a feeling that seems to be everywhere. So what's the result of all this? Well, it creates what you might call the all or nothing generation. But here's the most important part. This isn't just teenage angst or some kind of lazy nihilism. It's actually a completely rational, logical response to the world we live in right now. To really get it, just think about the shift in the last couple of decades. Back in, say, the 90s, the world felt complicated, for sure, but it still felt legible, you know? You could kind of draw a map in your head, see how the pieces fit together. You felt like if you pushed on one thing, you could predict what would happen. But today, that feeling's gone. The world feels opaque, like you're trying to see through a dense fog. The systems are so complex that just understanding them feels impossible. And when you combine that feeling of opacity with the insane levels of inequality we see everywhere, you get this really brutal all-or-nothing logic. It's not about slowly climbing a ladder anymore. It's about escape. The only path that seems to make sense is achieving this kind of escape velocity, joining the 1% and breaking free from the whole system. Because anything less than that feels like you're just treading water, waiting for the system to swallow you whole. This creates this modern dream, which we could call capitalist heaven. It's this fantasy of reaching a higher plane, right? A place where you have so much wealth and influence that you're totally free, completely insulated from the problems everyone else faces. But here's the wild part. This idea of a perfect elsewhere isn't new at all. In fact, it's based on a blueprint that's thousands of years old. And yeah, believe it or not, this blueprint goes way, way back. For the last 2,500 years, a lot of Western thought has been shaped by this one really powerful recurring idea. Just look at the pattern here. It starts way back with Plato and his idea of perfect forms, this ideal reality that exists somewhere beyond our messy world. Then Christianity picks up that ball and runs with it, turning it into the idea of heaven. Fast forward to the Enlightenment, and the same idea gets a secular makeover, a future utopia built on reason and progress. And then even Marxism has its version, a classless utopia at the end of history. The details change, but the core idea is exactly the same. Our flawed world right now only makes sense if we're aiming for a perfect world, somewhere else. So this whole idea has a name, transcendence. It's this belief in a perfect reality somewhere beyond our own. And it's been the engine for so much of our history, right? It gives meaning to all our struggles. We put up with the imperfect here and now because we believe we're working towards a perfect there, whether it's in heaven or in the future. So what happens when that elsewhere just vanishes? And this, right here, is the absolute heart of our modern crisis. That old blueprint, that old way of making sense of things, is falling apart. Why? Because the world hasn't just gotten more complicated. It's become fundamentally incomprehensible. Think about it like this. Take the old Intel 8086 chip from the late 70s. It was complicated, for sure, but it represented a world that was knowable. In principle, a dedicated person could get a microscope, trace every single circuit, and fully understand the whole chain of cause and effect. It made sense on a human scale. Now compare that to modern AI. We've gone from making tools we understand to building entire environments that we have to live inside of. And no single person on Earth, not even the people who designed it, can hold a complete picture of how a large language model truly works. Its logic is layered and emergent in a way that's just not human. This new opaqueness comes from three things hitting us all at once. First, there's technical opacity. Our systems are just too complex to even visualize anymore. Second, cognitive opacity. Our own brains literally cannot hold a complete model of how it all works. And finally, political economic opacity. Power and money have become so concentrated that the real levers of change are totally hidden from view, even if we knew which ones to pull. Okay, so if that old map of transcendence is totally useless now, what's supposed to replace it? We need a new logic, a new way to navigate a world where there's no escape hatch. We need a logic for living on spaceship Earth. Think of it as two totally different ways of seeing the world. Transcendence is a vertical logic. It's always about trying to climb up, to get to that higher, better place. And community, it's just a tool to help you get there. The alternative is something called immanence. It's a horizontal logic. The goal isn't to escape upwards, it's to act and create right here in the only world we've got. Morality isn't a set of rules from on high. It's something that grows out of the simple fact that we're all stuck here together. And in that view, community isn't a tool. It's the entire point.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's a way of seeing the world that doesn't need a final destination. It just throws out the need for some grand cosmic plan, and it replaces it with one simple, undeniable truth. We are here right now, and we're in this together. And the logic that comes from that is actually super simple, but it changes everything. First, there is no outside. No one gets an escape pod. Second, it's a closed system. Any damage to the ship is damage to every single person on board. And that leads to the third, most important point. It forces a kind of radical togetherness. We aren't just a bunch of individuals on separate journeys. We are one crew on one ship. So where does that leave us? If we can no longer understand the world, and we definitely can't escape it, what's left? What can we possibly build on? This brings us to the final and most critical response. Let's just put all the pieces together. The old stories about a perfect tomorrow have collapsed. We're living inside a massive, opaque system that no one really understands, and there's no way out. When you truly accept all of that, something profound starts to happen. When the world stops being intelligible, solidarity becomes the only rational response. And listen, this isn't some sentimental, feel-good idea. It's a cold, hard, logical conclusion. If we can't control the spaceship, and we can't even understand its wiring diagram, then the only variable left that we can actually change is how we treat each other. And this is the ultimate shift. It means that meaning in life no longer comes from individual achievement or control or from figuring the whole puzzle out. It's not found by getting to the top or knowing everything. Instead, meaning is found in the simple, inescapable fact of our shared condition, in how we choose to navigate this bizarre, confusing, and beautiful journey together. So we're left with this one question. And in our opaque world, it might just be the only question that truly matters. If the dream of transcendence is over, and this life on this ship is all there is, if we really truly accept that we're all in this together, then what do we owe each other?